This is looking rough. Let's see if we can fix it. I'm JJ, and this is the Lawn Lab. So as I've said before, this yard behind me is not irrigated. I don't know if you can see it through the glare here, but we've got some nice green grass growing in the shade. It needs a mow today, but then if we turn around, we get some kind of burnout. I've got some few photos of it as well that I'll throw up. Geez, it is hot. We are in Southern Maryland here, and we're in the middle of a long heat wave, and it's probably not gonna stop until next Thursday, Friday, with some temps in the high 90s. So we need to get a plan going to just keep our grass surviving through the next few weeks. So the stress is obviously heat related, because if we look in the shade here, this grass is long, lush, green. It's looking terrific. And the majority of the grass in all of the shaded areas is looking really, really good. So it's not a watering issue. What this actually is a symptom of improper soil structure, and it's not allowing the grass to access the moisture and cooler temps below ground. You might see some hot spots in your yard. You might see certain weird kind of geometric shapes. I have a weird long kind of L looking shape, and I have other grass that is right next to the burned out dormant grass that looks terrific, but it's in the same amount of sunlight. Why is that? A lot of that is due to soil compaction that you can't necessarily control. It might have been a symptom of how your lot was built. If you're in a large neighborhood, maybe with a lot of neighboring houses, if you just got construction done, or if you moved into a house, maybe somebody parked on their yard over and over again in a specific spot. These are things that might reveal themselves as the weather gets hotter and the grass is really kind of fighting for survival. My new theory for why my grass is going dormant in such an odd shape is because I think the guy who lived here before me had a ride-on, and he mowed it in the exact same direction every single time. So this was the outside tire track he had right on the edge of the driveway, and then this is the inside tire track. And he made this pass every single day. He came out to mow until he moved out of here. So with soil compaction, you're not going to have as much airflow moving through the grass roots, which means it's not going to be as cool. You're not going to have as much moisture, which also is going to lead to higher soil temperatures. And the grass maybe doesn't have as strong of a root system getting down through the compacted soil. Remember, grass roots don't grow through soil, they grow in between the particles of soil, and if the soil is too compacted, it can't grow dense roots, which will help it survive through the summer. Ladies and gentlemen, our secret ingredient for today's effort is going to be dish soap. So dish soap is a great product to use because it helps make water wetter. The reason why you get your dishes so clean with this is because it actually increases the lubricity and it breaks down the surface tension of water, and it is able to cut through grease, grime, things that are kind of stuck on. It allows the water to penetrate into those materials. We're going to use the same technology and strategy to get water to penetrate into our soil. We have one bottle of dish soap, non-antibacterial, just regular dish soap. The cheaper, the better. And we have one of these garden hose end sprayers for fertilizer. This is one I got from the next line of products. Terrific stuff. For an overall treatment of a surfactant for your soil, I'd recommend about 5 to 6 ounces of dish soap per 1,000 square feet. So what I mean by that is you're going to fill this up with water, and you are going to put 5 or 6 ounces of dish soap into this bottle, and you are going to spray that over 1,000 square feet of your yard. You could also get a little advanced. You could put 10 to 12 ounces in this and spray it over 2,500 square feet, water it in. Anything more than 2,500 square feet, you get a little close to having to run around too fast. It's going to stretch the product too much. So I would keep it at max 2,500 square feet, but 1,000 is perfect. In the bottle, I have a little over 20 ounces of water. This holds 32 ounces, so that means there's 12 ounces of remaining. That remaining 12 or so ounces, we are then going to fill up with the dish soap. We are going to add to the water to keep the suds down. Put our topper on. Connect this to a hose and we're ready to go. Remember, nature always wins, but we can put up a fight. Pro tip, if you ever use a hose end sprayer, you should unreel the entire length of the hose out to as far as you can spray, and then spray backwards towards where the hose is connected. It's so much easier, and you don't want to get halfway through your product and realize that you can't actually accomplish what you set out to do. So I think I hit on everything for today's video. It is absolutely scorching hot, and we're not looking to get any respite anytime soon. So keep doing what you got to do. I'm JJ. This is the Lawn Lab.